by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Inside, and the bucket for Ryba.
Freshman mistake. They double team the pick and roll.
A dozen rebounds for Flory Bidunga. DeMarco Jackson rolls it home and one. Council finds McDowell, turns, flips it up, would fall, rebound Mullins, he's fouled. Mullins has it, and UConn comes into Allen Fieldhouse, and number 5 knocks off Kansas. Their first ever win against the Jayhawks. Stan Hurley and the UConn Huskies pick up a win, and it was impressive.
We're going to go after you every game. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play, every game. Then you let the chips fall where they may.
Jackson, first down, and more! Touchdown! How about this kid, Jackson? Salter goes down! At times, it wasn't pretty, but it looks pretty when it's all said and done. 24-14, you will take it.
Most of you probably know this morning the Manhattan Mercury has reported a plan is in place to have Chris Klieman retire as Kansas State's football coach at season's end following the bowl game. Colin Klein, former Kansas State quarterback, Heisman finalist, offensive coordinator, now the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M, will come back, take over as head coach following that.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. I'm the host of this program, haven't been for a week, and now I'm back. And I hope everybody's ready for it, because I'm certainly not. So, well, maybe I'll have y'all pick up the slack. But I'm back, and we've got a good show for you today. Sports Day today is brought to you by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities supporting student, community, and employee needs. Before we hit our sounds of the past 24 hours, I want to point something out. If anybody is looking through the webcam, well, first of all, big thanks to Landon Winkler before I continue with the webcam stuff. Landon, as you all know, runs the video camera for us. He runs our video feed, puts it up on YouTube, also up on our website, greatbendpost.com. If you are seeing me say all this, it's because Landon allows you to do so. And Landon is just as upset that I'm back from vacation as I am. Not that I didn't want to come back from vacation, but that I still wish I was on vacation. Anyway, had a great time in Georgia. Also reached over into Alabama for a little bit. Saw some family, saw some friends. Went to a wedding, went to the Iron Bowl, which was a very fun game, even if it didn't have the ending I wanted. All of it very fun. I'm not sure if you can see directly behind me, but if you do look, remember I told you a couple of weeks ago that Ellenwood Volleyball sent over their state championship shirts, and they had everything signed and all of that stuff. Well, if you look behind me, that's now hanging up directly behind me. It's also right next to the Barton Cougar National Championship shirt from 2 years ago. So those two things have moved behind me. I saw that when I walked in this morning. I did not do that. That was a surprise to me, and I think it looks really cool. So very glad to have that back. Big thanks to everybody who I guess is tuning in for the first time, or it just kind of dealt with me being gone, or if you were happy about me being gone, sorry, I'm back. Your sounds of the past 24 hours. Kansas basketball falls once again to UConn. UConn, a very good team. There's no shame in losing to UConn, but of course this is a very close game in which Kansas's defense certainly did enough to win. Their offense did not. They badly need back Darren Peterson to kind of be I mean, it's what he is. He's the point guard. They need him to be the quarterback. They need him to come in and kind of run the offense and be able to score. They just haven't been able to score quite as much as they probably should have, given the amount of talent that's on that team. They are incredibly talented. They are incredibly strong, but they're kind of missing that scoring right now from Darren Peterson and what he can open up as a one-on-one scorer. I think they're trying to get other guys to do that right now, and they just don't quite have it from the ball handling standpoint. So badly need back Darren Peterson. He has now missed 7 games. Statement released by Bill Self last night that before the game that he was not going to come back for this game. He is close, but he's not 100%, so they're not going to risk it, especially not this early in the season. A lot of time left. We're not even in a conference play yet, so in NCAA college basketball. So lots of time left. Your other sound of the past 24 hours. Andy Reid with the quote of the day. I think this was actually a couple of days ago. I'm hitting on a couple of different things because I've been gone for a week. And these are things that I just want to talk about. Andy Reid with the soundbite of the century, talking about how the Chiefs need to win these last 5 games down the stretch. They come in at 6-6 with 5 games left to play. They are on the outside of the playoff picture right now, looking in. Quote, "We're going to try and tickle your tonsils on every play." I don't know exactly what he means by that, but I thought it was hilarious, and so I wanted to include it in the last in that soundbite. So that's what Andy Reid's doing. Andy Reid is tickling tonsils, and yeah, they'll play. Who is it? The Texans. I think they're hosting the Texans on Sunday, so that'll be fun. On Saturday, Kansas State got a win over Colorado, a scuffling Colorado team. They finished 3-9 on the year. I think that might be the end for Coach Prime. He's got some health issues that he's dealing with, and I just don't I don't really see him coming back. I mean, I'm sure Colorado would take him back. Colorado's actually had some national interest, which they've never really had before, or at least not in my lifetime. So I could see him coming back or Colorado bringing him back, but I do think that he has a couple of health issues, and things just aren't going well this year. They finished 3-9. Kansas State, though, they get that win. They are going to get a bowl game. They finished 6-6. They will play a 13th game, and good for them. But that's certainly not the biggest news coming out of Manhattan today. Chris Kleiman reportedly calling it a career. He is set to retire from the K-State program. And Colin Klein, currently the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M and doing what I think is a darn good job, and former Kansas State quarterback Colin Klein, Heisman finalist, as you heard, that audio from GoPowerCat.com, I believe the 247 arm of the Kansas State beat. But Chris Kleiman gone from Kansas State, set to retire. There's actually a press conference set today, set to start at 4 p.m., so be on the lookout for quotes from that later in the day, probably quotes from that tomorrow on the sounds of the past 24 hours. But, yeah, Colin Klein is a guy, and look, I kind of had this conversation around the office a little bit today. Kansas State and Texas A&M are two very different jobs. For anybody who doesn't know, Texas A&M has a lot of money. They have a lot of people with a lot of money. And this is both old money from oil and like old businesses and things like that, and some new money in the world of engineering. Texas A&M is very, very rich. That is to say, their NIL program is one of the best in America. The talent that a university is able to bring in is really second to none. It's not quite as hit on everything the same way that Ohio State has been, the same way that Georgia has been lately. But as far as schools that are not winning national championships every other year, Texas A&M has about as much money as someone could ask for. They are probably in the top 5 richest schools in America as far as alumni base. Kansas State is not that. Kansas State certainly does not lack for anything. They are a well-respected program. They have money. They have a lot of history. But they do not have the resources that Texas A&M has from a purely financial standpoint. That said, I do love Colin Klein as an offensive play caller. I love him as a talent developer. I loved him as a quarterback when he was at Kansas State, when he was playing at Kansas State. And I think that this is still going to be a good hire. The question is going to be, can he recruit at Kansas State? Flat out, probably not to the level that they have recruited at Texas A&M. But I do think that there's a way for him to still be an effective recruiter and to still be effective going as the head coach at Kansas State. Is he going to win a Big 12 championship right off the bat? Unlikely. He's going to have to rebuild this roster, retool it a little bit. kind of get in, quote unquote, his guys. I'll be interested to see how much does he want to continue being the offensive play caller, or does he want to switch things up? I'm not sure, but that'll be an interesting storyline to follow. Again, I think this is going to be a big loss for Texas A&M. I think that they're going to be sad to see him go. As much as he has handled that offense, I'm sure that Texas A&M is going to be fine because Mike Elko is a whale of a football coach. I don't think that they're going to fall off that much, but I do think it's going to be tough to replace the mind that is Colin Klein. So that's your K-State update, and I, for one, am looking forward to seeing what Kansas State football becomes under Colin Klein. Because, again, I think he's a very good football coach. I think that if Kansas State did not snatch him up right now, I think he was going to be a head coach in the SEC sooner rather than later. And I know that there were a couple of jobs that opened up, and he never really got mentioned with any of them, and I was kind of surprised that he was never mentioned with any of them. But, again, I think that job was going to come for him sooner or later, and the fact that Kansas State was able to get him when they did, I think it's a really good hire for the Wildcats. Sports Day Today is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend, also in part by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. And lastly, by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the best in the country. We got to hit our first break. On the other side, Coach Aaron Beck, head coach of the Great Bend Panthers, the first guest back from my vacation. He joins us to kind of talk the end of the Panthers season and what he's going to remember about this. It's kind of the last time we're going to talk about football will be this week. And immediately after that, we're going to move on to the winter sports. I'm already talking with basketball coaches around the area, and we're going to get that up and rolling as soon as we possibly can. But I wanted to get Coach Beck's thoughts on the lasting impact of this senior class and what all this group means to him. So we'll play that for you on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day live from the Mayo Money Management Studio here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville. Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
Hey, become an instant finalist today with the $20K Christmas Cash Giveaway presented by Cornerstone Automotive and Tire, Mayo Money Management, and Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer, whatever it takes. Get qualified today at Next Tech Wireless, 10th and Madison here in Great Bend until 5 o'clock. And you guys have some great deals on watches right now.
Yes, you can come in and get a watch on us. Depending on what plan you're on, we are offering free watches.
All right, and these are the Apple watches, correct?
Any watch. We have the Pixel, we have the Samsung, and we have Apple.
Okay, great deals on watches. Let's talk about some of your guys' trade-in deals and other plans if people are looking to switch their phone service.
Right now we have our holiday promotions, and you could get up to $450 off depending on what plan you're on, $300 off if you have insurance, and then another $200 off if you trade in a phone, plus whatever the phone's worth. So basically a phone on us.
Come on in here today, Next Tech Wireless. Let them help you out. It's the $20K Christmas Cash Giveaway. You have until 5 o'clock to get qualified.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Cine Doors' Christmas message may not be original, but we hope your Christmas shines like the eyes of a child in a toy store.
I wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
Papa! That's right, Hadley. I think you just did, Eddie.
Oh, yeah, and have a Happy New Year to boot.
Mom, Dad, and everyone at Cine Doors prays your holidays are filled with love and happiness. We hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from everyone at C&E Doors. C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you now, joined over the phone this time. Usually he joins us in studio, but Aaron Beck, the head coach of Great Bend Panther football, joined us over the phone line now. Coach, thanks for taking the time. How are things in your world now that football season's done?
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like it's slowed down much yet, and I appreciate you letting me call in. I had to cover Coach Schultz's class. He's reffing this afternoon over at Sterling College, so was a little tied up. So I'm glad you were able to catch me on the phone here.
Absolutely. So, Coach, let's start with this. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but we do have to bring it up. The loss to Salina Central, wild game, back and forth game, and the first and only loss of the season, Coach.
Yeah, I mean it's always tough to end a season, especially one like that, as historic as that was, and what a fun ride. Now that you kind of had some time to sit back and reflect on it, and Salina Central was a really good team, and it was one of those games that it just felt like every bullet, every chance they took, they hit on, and that's tough to overcome sometimes in those types of games. But I thought our kids, I was so proud of the way they battled all the way up until the end. Getting down in that thing and kind of feeling like your backs were against the wall. They take the 6-16 lead into half, and come out, march it down the field, defense bows up, makes them kick attempt a field goal, try the fake field goal and get the score to go down 23-6. Felt like a tall task, but we knew that we just needed to go quick, and I thought our kids did a great job of that. Daxton hits the one over the top to Cooper. We get another one to kind of pull that thing and feel like we had a lot of momentum, but just couldn't capitalize in a couple key scenarios. There's always what shoulda, coulda, woulda. On my end as a coach, and that's something that you live with. It comes with the territory, but I couldn't be more proud of our kids and the way they battled and with all the things they accomplished this year. And you kind of start looking at some of the things they did, and especially the senior class to go 33-9 over their 4 years is the highest win percentage by any class in Great Bend High School history, and back-to-back WAC titles, back-to-back undefeated seasons, back-to-back number one seeds in the West is a lot to be really proud of.
And, Coach, you brought it up, is so many school records that you set on both sides of the ball. What was it like to coach this group of guys?
Yeah, that I don't know the exact number, but one of the things that Trent Kern and I always joke about was the number of snaps that kid played for us. I think it's got to be over 5,000 in his career, and that that's just a testament to how much this class and these kids impacted from day one when they walked onto campus. And when we kind of knew they had that possibility, but probably not to this extent, to have a 3-year starting quarterback, to have, 2 kids that started as freshmen, to have, then you sprinkle in all those other guys that kind of stepped in, later in their careers, the Jace Dynases, Carter Brown. I mean, it's just, I could go on and on. Connor Holiday, getting him from another school. So it was just a special group. Jacob Hall's a kid that started for us for 3 years. So it's one that we'll always remember. And the thing as a coach and a coaching staff that we love is just the foundation they really laid for this younger group, and to see these guys and how they went about it and took care of business and did all the things that it takes to be a championship type of caliber team.
When you look back at this season, what's something that's going to stick with you?
Gosh, that's a great question. That's something that, we'll talk about at the banquet here next Monday, but I don't know. I think it's just the each week, the expectation that the past is past. You got to keep moving forward. The way that they just, that motto really rung true with them of climb the ladder and just really make sure that they focus on the task at hand, and they really did that. That was just such a sign of maturity that I'll never forget from this group.
You've already mentioned a couple of them, but talk a little bit more about this senior class and what it was like for these guys over the last 4 years and how you're going to remember them.
Yeah, I mean, the some of the records that were rewritten are pretty impressive stuff, and things that, when you looked at them, you were kind of like, I don't know if you could ever touch some of those. And for Daxton Minton to go not only break the career passing touchdown record, but also the single season is pretty impressive. And for him to do it while breaking his quarterback coaches, I think Coach Wells would be the first to tell you that he couldn't be more proud of Daxton for doing that. And if someone was going to do it, he was glad it was him, and knew that if he was going to do it, it was going to take a deep run. And that's exactly what we did. And Ian breaking the single season touchdown record, kind of shattering the career one. I mean, with 31, and that's pretty impressive as kind of an inside slot, tight end type kid to have that many catches. But not only that, just his overall. I mean, to have 14 rushing, 14 receiving, a couple defensive, to be able to do it all over the field. That's probably the biggest thing that I'll remember about this class, is that they weren't just a wide receiver or a linebacker. I mean, Trenton Kern did it so many other ways as an offensive lineman. One of the best offensive linemen I've ever coached, let alone going down as arguably the best linebacker in Great Bend High School history. To have over 400 total career tackles is quite an accomplishment. There's so many of them that I'm probably forgetting them. Cohen Rabordi, a kid that kind of stepped away and then came back and made such a huge impact on our defense the last 2 seasons. And I don't know how many career interceptions he had over the last 2. It had to be upwards of 6 total ones. And Jacob Hall over there with him did some outstanding things. And then like those big guys up front, the Carter Browns, the Blaine Insleys, the Jace Dynas, the guys that, probably don't get all the recognition, but it all starts with those guys up front. And they're just such a selfless group that, put their pride aside, and not very many sports that, you do something each play for someone else, and that's the testament of an offensive lineman. That's why those guys always have kind of a special, spot in the heart. And then Connor Holiday, a kid that probably a little undersized at defensive line, but that's where we needed him, and he, stuck his hand in the ground and did it day in and day out. And very proud of him and the way he ran the football when he was called upon. Did some outstanding things. So they're going to be a really, really tough class to replace, and you can't replace them is probably the best way to put it. But I think the legacy they leave behind is a great example for these younger guys coming in.
Well, Coach, I know the season has just ended, but have you had a chance to look at next year? And obviously you're losing a lot of great players, but certainly the cupboard is not bare.
No, and that's the exciting thing. I mean, that's high school football. You got to you got to bounce back with the ebbs and flows, and you got to look forward and try to figure out what we're going to do. But we got a lot of good pieces. We're going to have a lot of younger guys step up in some key spots, especially, you look at that freshman, sophomore class. They're going to have to be the ones that really take a huge step in the weight room this off season and throughout the summer, because that quarterback spot is probably one of the biggest ones. You got to kind of figure out how we're going to build this thing around, and got a few ideas, but we'll cross that hurdle when we get there. But it's going to change a little bit, the landscape of our teams, in a sense that not only losing such of the star powers that you've leaned on for so long, but also going down to 4A. Our schedule changes a little bit. We're still kind of shoring up some things, but there'll be some different opponents, and then the playoff landscape will change tremendously next fall as we get into that thing, and getting into 4A West will be a whole new ball game. So there's a lot to be really excited about with this program, and I know I'm already wheels turning, looking at it, thinking about where we need to improve and the places, the spots that we got to figure out.
And, Coach, kind of the last big day on most high school football calendars. Today is National Signing Day, and Ian Premer signed his letter of intent to head to Notre Dame this morning. What was that ceremony like, and how did that feel as the coach of that kid, watching him move on to the next level?
Yeah, pretty cool. Obviously we're all so tremendously proud of Ian and the way he's handled the whole recruiting process, and even up until this day, the landscape of college football has just changed so much, and you just feel like nobody's loyal anymore. Everybody's jumping. Everybody's trying to look out for themselves, and that's the complete opposite of the type of kid Ian is. And he always put his team first here at Great Bend High School, and that's exactly what he did with his decision to go to Notre Dame. It was about something bigger with Ian, and there was no waffling on that decision when he made it clear back in late June when he committed. And it was pretty neat to see how many people came out to that thing. All his teammates, his classmates, his teachers, coaches, relatives. I mean, it just says so much about him. And got up and grabbed the mic and thanked a lot of people. And it was just a very mature way, and wouldn't have expected it any other. And it's going to be pretty neat. We hate to see him, take off that red and black as a Panther, but we're really excited to watch his next 4 years at Notre Dame, and there's going to be a lot of Irish fans here in Great Bend.
Coach, thank you for the time, not just today, but for the entire season. You've been a lot of fun to talk to, and I can't wait to do it again next year.
Yeah, Brand, I'm glad you're here, and it was a joy to talk to you each week and get to know you a little bit, and for you to get to know these kids and this community, and hopefully it grows from here.
Coach, I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Brand.
All right, that's Coach Aaron Beck, head coach of Great Bend football, joining us here on Sports Day. Probably the last time for a little while. We'll talk to Coach Beck. Like he said, maybe we'll get him in here for track season. He said off air that he's getting ready for that. That'll be his next big commitment. So looking forward to talking to him again, but especially for football. Such a fun time. High school football is one of my favorite things in the world, and getting to talk to Coach Beck every week has just been a whole lot of fun. And he's been very easy to talk to and selfless with his time, and has come in every single week for that run that the Panthers were on. And yeah, look, a very unfortunate way for the season to end. And you know, again, I think to make the comeback that Great Bend did in that game and not come away with the win, it really hurts. And Salina Central, full credit to them. Hey, full credit to Salina Central. They went on and beat, I believe, Baser Linwood in the state championship game. They were named state champions, and a really really impressive showing for Salina Central, and really the only close game that they played in the playoffs was against Great Bend. They win that game by 2 in Great Bend, and then they go and they beat, again, I think it was Baser Linwood, I wouldn't swear to that, in the state title game by multiple possessions. So, and again, the Great Bend game was the only close one that they played all year that they won. They did have a loss early in the season, but overall, a really special year for Great Bend football. A really special day for Ian Premer. This is not every day where you get to celebrate yourself like this, and Ian comes across as a very doesn't want to celebrate himself kind of guy. Coach Beck has told us that all year. He is all about the team and steps up and does what is asked, and he's just all about winning. And for him to go to a program like Notre Dame, boy, it doesn't get much more historically significant in the world of college football than the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And what he is going to be a part of, I think, is a great program. Marcus Freeman, is a coach that I have a lot of respect for personally. And I think that Ian's going to do a really good job over there. And I think that if he, and I spoke about this with Coach a couple of weeks ago, he puts on a little bit more weight and gets used to the speed of the college game. I think Ian Premer is going to be a really, really successful college tight end. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at that level. I mean, again, number 1 tight end recruit in the country by most services. Pretty much unanimous 5-star, I believe. Every service that I've looked at has him as a 5-star. He's a really impressive player. And I can't wait to see what Notre Dame does with him. Sports Day Today is brought to you in part by Kern Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend Showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also in part by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. Let me try that again. redcedarland.com. My name's Brant Daughtry. Landon Winkler's over in the corner. And this is Sports Day. On the other side of this break, Trevor Rolfs, the athletic director for Barton Community College, joins us in studio. That'll be live. And that's on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day from the Mayo Money Management Studio on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartoncccc.edu and enroll today.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320. Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
This year, Eagle Media Community Calendar auditions for the next Great Bend Community Theater production will be held at 2 p.m. Sunday, January 11th, and again at 7 p.m. Monday, January 12th at the Crest Theater in downtown Great Bend. The next play, Happy Birthday, Dear Grandpa, a comedy about a cantankerous grandfather who thinks his grandkids are trying to kill him for his inheritance. But when Grandpa unexpectedly dies at his birthday party, kids suddenly become murder suspects. The play will be presented February 26th through March 1st. No advanced preparation is necessary for the auditions. To find out more, visit the Community Theater's Facebook page. Preschoolers ages 3 to 5 and the grown-ups invited to visit the Kansas Wetlands Education Center at 10 a.m. on Friday, December 12th for the next nature-based Turtle Tots program on prairie dogs. Children will be treated to a story, craft, science experiment, and outdoor exploration time. The event is free, but pre-registration is required by December 10th. Call the Wetlands Center to register or to get more information. Experience Christmas the way it was in the mid-1800s by visiting the Fort Larned National Historic Site during its annual Christmas open house from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. Saturday, December 13th at the fort west of Larned on Highway 156. There'll be self-guided tours, carriage rides, living history, and cooking demonstrations. Enjoy refreshments in the Visitor Center and chat with Santa, dressed in an old-fashioned suit appropriate to the era. This family-friendly event is free and open to the public. And the Schaefer Gallery at Barton Community College showing its Museum Exchange exhibit through December 13th. Museum Exchange incorporates artwork from 4 sponsors and 11 institutions, including the Moss Thorns Gallery of Art, Salina Art Center, Lincoln Art Center, and the Berger Sanzen Gallery in Lindsborg. The exhibit features a vibrant picture of the area's artistic community through a single connection and collaboration. So that's the update. I'm Steve Webster.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Welcome back to Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, now joined in studio by Trevor Rolfs, Athletic Director for Barton Community College. Trevor, thanks for taking the time, man. You actually set this up. We'll offer a peek behind the curtain here. As I now notice, as I say curtain, the curtain behind you is actually folded up, and it's not where we usually have it. But it is what it is. you set this up, and you have reasons for that. Go ahead. What in the world are we doing here?
Well, it's game day, which is always a big day.
That it is.
Out on the hill, but in particular today, it's Hutchinson Blue Dragons coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the old blue blood rivalry, and has been going on for a long, long time, clear back into the 70s, and so it's a big day, and I expect a big crowd tonight, and wanted to come on and invite everybody out, but most specifically talk about tonight's going to be whiteout. So we're going to have our student section whited out, and we'd love for anybody and everybody that's coming out tonight to put their best whites on, and if they've got Barton gear that's white, we'll be shooting out white T-shirts tonight from the Cougar Corner Cannon that we introduced at our last home game, and Cougar Den's going to be rocking again tonight with some great food and great atmosphere for those that are members there, and then also to kind of put the cherry on top of that cake, the facilities renovation finishing touches have been ongoing. The last time I was in here a couple weeks ago, we talked about the finish line, and just a lot of fine details left to get through, and while we're not done, a lot of those fine details have been completed since I was in here last, and so it's looking great. And as we continue to, again, fully open the Cougar Den and have all of those amenities available to our fans, our loyal fans, and supporters, it's going to be a great atmosphere tonight. But to that point of all of those great amenities and those renovations that have occurred with private dollars, it's going to be very appropriate that we recognize those who contributed to that and recognize their generosity. So we're going to start that tonight. We can't possibly do due diligence to those folks by trying to honor them all in one night. And then, like with any project like this, there's been some who have asked to remain anonymous, and we certainly respect that. But we want to, if at all possible, honor publicly all of those who have been the reason we have been able to make these improvements that everybody is enjoying.
It does really look great. And I don't know what the gym used to look like. I kind of came in as the renovations were beginning. Yeah. But just, I mean, you and I talked about the Hall of Fame on the far side when you walk in over on that, I believe that's the west side of the gym.
South side of
the gym. It looks so fantastic just as a backdrop, and the first thing you see when you come in, it does look really great. Tell me a little bit, kind of switching gears here, about the basketball game. Obviously Hutchinson and Great Bend are pretty close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of all my knowledge of this rivalry. But people tell me that this gets pretty intense. So tell me about the history here. What do I need to know going into tonight?
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, you're around, games and sports of all kinds. And, rivalries are a thing, whether it's Duke, North Carolina, whether it's Ohio State, Michigan, Great Bend, Hayes, Covera Heights and Claflin back in the day, and how ironic that they're together now as Central Plains. Hutchin and Barton men's basketball rivalry dates way back, and then once that rivalry started, it kind of becomes like all these other, the Ohio State, Michigan. Then when every sport plays, it automatically becomes rivalry. But it really started in the 70s. The early to mid 70s, and Barton's first ever team championship, conference championship. They had to beat the Blue Dragons because the Blue Dragons had taken them down before and won the conference the year before. And I'd give you a specific year, but I'd be wrong, 76-ish. But you look back at the pictures from the crowds in those games, and then it, when I was in high school, in the late 80s and early 90s, both programs have been, again, they've been blue blood. That's hard to say over and over again.
Uh-huh.
Programs for years, and it's really cool. Obviously, I think that's a really neat part of sports. We see it again at all levels, but it goes way back, and I think every year that went by, like with any rivalry, Brent, it just gets more intense.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then obviously with the national tournament being in Hutch and all of those things, I'm going to give you a stat here, and I'm going to be wrong. I always need my SIDs by my side. It's to fact check me, but.
Todd, I will tell you, my broadcast would not be nearly as good if Todd was not sitting next to me, handing me a dead tree's worth of paper every game.
Yeah, and being new, that's helpful, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But we've won like 15 games in a row at the sports arena, which is Hutch's home, which is kind of put a little more spice, on the rivalry recipe of late. So with beating them in the regular season. The last however many years, and then we played a classic over there in the national tournament. I think it's run up to like 15 or 16 in a row there. So again, that's kind of added to it. And the women's program, Barton and Hutch, over the last 10 years have battled it out a lot, in the region, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and of course Hutch's women's program is. Been nationally ranked top 10 most of the time over the past 10, 12, 15 years. And so, it's a great measuring stick for us, and it's always a good battle, no matter what the records are on the women's side.
So talk to me about whiteout. Why specifically whiteout? I know Hutch is the Blue Dragons.
Yeah, and, everybody does whiteout or a blackout, and no reason for it. We had some snow on the ground. What was that, Monday? So it would have been really cool if this game would have coincided with that. We'd have been white outside and mostly white inside. But, no, just decided that was the color we're going to go with tonight. And we try to do that at a game or two each year. We've done a lot of different promotional things with our students, whether it be pizza or, the games between or the contest that we have at halftime and things. But the whiteout thing, we haven't done a lot over the years. We've done a pink out, as we raise funds to help with Camp Hope. And so that's kind of been a thing. So we're going to throw some white T-shirts at them tonight, and identifications is a part of that and helping to sponsor that. So we want to thank them, and that's always a rush deal. Hey, we're going to do this, and now we need to get the design done, and then we need to get the T-shirts here. We need to get it printed, and we really didn't want to do any of that until the project was mostly done, which it is now, which it just kind of got done. So all of this has kind of been a rush thing, but there's been a lot of people who step up. They're going to make it happen tonight.
I'm really excited for this game just because, one, I haven't called anything in the past week. And so, I was doing 5 games a week for the past couple of weeks with Hoisington football and then Barton doing the men's and women's. I've had a week off, and it was nice, and I was really happy. And I didn't really give my voice a rest because I went to the Iron Bowl last Saturday, and that was You
were there live in person.
I was there. I was live in person. I was in a different seat than I usually am. I was with different members of the family than where my mom and dad than the seats my mom and dad raised me in. But still had a lot of fun. I said some things that I can't say on the air, and
you used that voice really hard.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did. I was pretty hoarse leaving that game, and I got kind of concerned when I got in the car, and I could talk, but it wasn't clean. Yeah. And I was going, I don't know if I can be doing this anymore. But I'm here and I'm fine.
It's funny you talk about that because that's a bucket list of me. The Iron Bowl. I want to go to a game at Notre Dame, a football game. I'd love to go to the Michigan-Ohio State football game. That guy, the Marlin guy that goes around and just goes to all these games, and he's at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City all the time. I want to be well enough off someday that I can just go to games all the time, all year long, and enjoy specifically those rivalry games or those cherished event centers or those cherished stadiums, like a Notre Dame, and check it all out.
I've been to a lot of Iron Bowls in my life, and some are better than others, but they're all awesome.
Intense.
They're all, yeah.
I love intense atmosphere.
It is as cool as it gets if you're just a sports fan. As an Auburn fan, again, results sucked. Still had a lot of fun. Yeah. But it just either way, it is one. If you're just a sports fan, I'm with you. I love the idea of traveling to different spots and seeing these big games and these meccas. And while I'm in Kansas, I really want to check out Allen Fieldhouse.
100%. I've lived in Kansas my whole life, and I've only been to a game. I've been in Allen Fieldhouse a lot of times, but I've only been to a game, a KU game. I've been to other games. My daughter played at Fort Hays, and they played the KU women in exhibition games a couple different times. So I've been to several games there. I've been to several events there over the years, but I've only been to 2 KU men's basketball games in my life, and it's a pretty special place.
I also want to check out Manhattan just because everybody talks about how cool the town is.
It's awesome.
And my Auburn actually played K-State in football like a decade ago.
I was there
in Manhattan. Were you really?
I was there. Yeah. We played USC one year, and then we played Auburn like the very next year. It was right there in a row. We had a home and home with both of them, and that was. Speaking of intense, that was intense.
I remember the game, and I remember how it ended. But I just remember Auburn fans that went to that game coming back and talking about how cool the town was, how great the people were, and how they'd go back and do it again in a heartbeat. So
there was a really big story about that when that happened, that, the Auburn fans were, very gracious of the hospitality and the environment and all that. And I remember seeing that story. That was kind of a neat story post-game, after the game, in the days after the game. But, Manhappiness is a really awesome place. I grew up a K-State kid, so I've been there many times and enjoyed all of the structure of their athletic programming there. It's a pretty special place.
The thing about Auburn fans is as long as you're not wearing red, we'll get along just fine. That's usually how it goes.
That's how it works out?
Yeah. All right, I got to read this real quick.
Go ahead.
Sports Day Today is brought to you in part by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and Larned. Also by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison. We got to hit our last break. We'll talk more with Trevor on the other side. You're listening to Sports Day from the Mayo Money Management Studio on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
C&E Doors' Christmas message may not be original, but we hope your Christmas shines like the eyes of a child in a toy store.
I wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
Papa! That's right, Hadley. I think you just did, Eddie.
Oh, yeah, and have a Happy New Year to boot.
Mom, Dad, and everyone at C&E Doors prays your holidays are filled with love and happiness. We hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from everyone at C&E Doors. C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Welcome back. Final segment of Sports Day here on this Tuesday, back from vacation and happy to be back. Sports Day today is brought to you in part by Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. Also by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. And those are our sponsors for today. We're joined in studio by Trevor Ross. I don't know what happened. I got off rhythm right there.
And we thank them.
And we thank them very much.
100%.
Couldn't do the show without them.
No.
Or we could, but it wouldn't be nearly as worth it.
I can't do what I do out at the college. I got a lot of corporate sponsors and partnerships, and it makes it all work. It makes it all work. And I'm very thankful to those that sponsor this show, and then certainly thankful to those who sponsor our game day broadcast that you do. That's an important piece of making it all happen.
Certainly very thankful for the people that, again, like we could do it. It would cost us money. Instead, we have people that pay for it, and it just allows us to do the really cool stuff, like talk about sports. And what we're talking about, Trevor, we got about 5 minutes left in the show, is want to get everybody out to the Hill tonight for a big game against Such.
Yeah, it's a big game, big night. It's a Wednesday night, no high school interference, and a lot of Saturdays, it's got a lot of people have things going on with their kids playing ball and stuff. So I love Wednesday home games. It's kind of the focus of, everything's offline at that point locally, and so hopefully we can get everybody out there. The weather's going to cooperate today. It's not too bad out there at all, and we want to pack the place tonight. Wear your white, come out. Our men are now ranked 15th in the country. We had a really close loss to Coffeyville on Saturday at Coffeyville in a tough environment.
I was paying attention to that game. I couldn't watch it live, but I was listening kind of on and off. But that was just a whale of a basketball game.
Yeah, we didn't play our best by any stretch, and if we'd have rebounded the ball a little bit better, it would have been a huge road win for us. But going into that game, we were ranked number 11, and Coffeyville was 15, and we've kind of flipped in this week's rankings. With their win over us, they moved up to 10, and we slid to number 15 in the country. But it's all a big part of RPI and at large and stuff. So we got to hold serve on the home court tonight against a good Hutch team, and again, throw out the records. It's a rivalry game. There's no sense in paying any attention to rankings and records. And then on the women's side, our women are looking to bounce back from a tough loss at Coffeyville. The Hutch women are number 19 in the country in this week's rankings, and so going to be a difficult task for our women tonight, but I know that they're going to be up for the challenge and hope we can play well in front of our home fans. And again, going to be honoring some of those that were instrumental in making our improvements happen. So I'm excited about that. Going to have Delgados in the Cougar Den for all you Cougar Den members out there. That's always a hit. And we're looking forward to a fun night, a big night, a whiteout night, and hopefully we'll come away, Brant, with 2 victories.
Hopefully so. I tell you, I think the women's team is really close to breaking through. If someone – because teams are going to focus on Regina Donahue, especially after what she did at Cloud County. Again, school record 43 points for her that night. If they can kind of figure out someone else to kind of take on the scoring load, I think they're going to be a really good team.
Inconsistency is really what's missing with our women's team right now. Elena Eck was that other scorer, that other piece. And Elena, she would tell you herself, she just hasn't been playing as well. She played really well early in the year, really well. And has been struggling to make shots right now, and some other girls need to step up to fill that void, and we kind of haven't had that. And we played really great at Cloud. We showed some really promising moments against Dodge City, the number 1 team in the country. We're down 6 with 5 minutes to go against them. So we're there, and we got another piece of that puzzle that's going to be eligible at semester. That it's kind of like a new present. We're looking very much forward to opening that.
That's exciting stuff. All right, Trevor, thank you so much for coming in today, man.
Appreciate you having me, and go Cougars.
Go Cougars.
See you all tonight.
We'll talk to you guys all tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thanks to Landon Winkler over in the corner for running the video feed and running the cameras. I'm Brant Daughtry. We'll do it all again tomorrow.